everyone. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are watching this from. Welcome to the Algarve Lush Living live webinar. We're so excited to introduce you to these properties that we're selling in the Algarve. I'm Charlie. I'm going to be your moderator. After the webinar's finished, we'll open up the chat for any questions. Today, we've got our best sales consultants, we've got the developer, we've got mortgage advisor, lawyer, currency, and after sales. So thank you for joining. It's been a crazy amount of leads for this. There's been over 1,000 and currently there's over 300 people joined. So I'm going to pass you over to Carrie and John.
Hi, thank you so much for that, Charlie. Yes, and welcome. And thank you all for joining us this afternoon, this beautiful afternoon here in the Algarve. We're so looking forward to this next hour and what we can take you through. My name's Carrie Marie Brackley. I am a travel author and Algarve lifestyle advisor for Ideal Homes Portugal. I'll be sharing with you some insights into what makes the Algarve a perfect place to live and invest, and also what's around the immediate area near this development that we're focusing on today. And joining me today is John Baker-Malpas, and he will tell you all about himself now.
Hi and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm a property advisor here in the Algarve and a presenter here in the Algarve as well. So I'll be offering my expertise on the property market here and why now is a great time to invest in this region. But before we dive in, let me just briefly introduce the professionals we have here. We have a panel of experts and their fields they're working in is Elliot DiMarco at Ideal Homes Portugal, a sales director and an investment expert. We also have Nicholas Martins at Ideal Homes Portugal, mortgage advisor. We also have Claire Wheatley at Currency Exchange, founder of Moving Currency. We have lawyer Maria Costa, an independent lawyer here in the Algarve offering legal advice. We'll have the developer, Adam Duffy will be here to explain more about this property and this development coming up. And our after sales girl, Justine Ness, she's head of after sales. So Carrie, I know you are local to the area where Quinta Heights is, and you know that area very well.
Yes.
Tell the viewers more.
Well, we've both been there before,
yeah,
John, and we know how beautiful it is, but we're going to try and convey to you just how amazing this area is. So we all know the Algarve. Most of you, if you're tuning in, will be familiar with the region. We famously have over 300 days of sunshine a year, and it's sort of the southernmost region of Portugal. That said, the area around the development we're going to be focusing on today is one of the most popular parts of the Algarve, and it's also one with a huge amount of stunning attractions, beauty spots, amenities, and plenty of activities for people to see and do and enjoy that enhance that lifestyle that we're going to be telling you all about today. So you're probably wondering what is in and around this area, what might I know, what am I going to learn? So one of the spots that we love going to visit is the Benadryl Caves, not only because you get to go on a boat trip, but just because the cave the cave itself is stunning. It's like a cathedral almost with the light pouring in. And that is literally about a 15-minute drive away from this development. Nearby there, you have the Marinha Beach, Praia da Marinha, famously an award-winning beach, also one of the most Instagrammable spots here in the Algarve, if you like a bit of Instagram action. And we've Instagrammed ourselves several times there, haven't we, John?
Yeah, we have.
On a sunny day. So that's also literally, again, a 15-minute drive away. And then you're bookended by two amazing little villages, fishermen's villages, Ferragudo, which is just a few minutes drive.
Very nice, lovely.
Absolutely, from the development with its little fish restaurants and its little quay, which is so charming. And then in the opposite direction, you have Carvoeiro, which is again another fantastic little village which has a lot of life to it, and bars and restaurants and little shops. Your nearest beach is under a 5-minute drive away. It's actually walking distance if you enjoy a nice stroll. And that would be Canedos Beach, which also has a little restaurant on there. And it's a very charming little place to enjoy some rays of sun. So if you were to consider looking at this development, you'd have all of that on your doorstep and so much more, because there's golf.
Oh, tell me, golf. I mean, if you are a golf enthusiast, you've got 2 golf courses literally on your doorstep, Gramacho and Valdepinta. You've also got a new one in construction by Pestana, which is going to open, I think, next year. Close by is Amendoeira in Alcatarilia. That has got 2 18-hole challenging golf courses, that is. 2 18 holes. You've got a floodlit 9-hole, so you can actually play golf at night there. You've also got Palmeiras, which is built on the sea there. And I think 27 holes of every hole is like you're looking at the ocean. So golf, it's abundance of golf there. But you've also got things like tennis, great for tennis because Cabrera's got a really big tennis club there.
It's a very great tennis club.
And other things like if you're into cycling, it's great for cycling. Walking, you've got the boardwalks to walk on. I mean, we know the location. We love it. We do actually love it. But if you're into boating, if you've got a sailboat or a motorboat, there's several marinas. You've got Alvor, which Alvor is beautiful. You've got Portimao, you've got a big marina there. But you've even got the west of Albufeira marina, and even in Lagos. So it goes on and on and on. What is there? So
location is second to none.
Second to none.
It's a great location.
And what I'm going to do now, let's shift gears to that of investment. If you think about buying a property in the Algarve to invest, well, no better person to talk to as an expert, Elliot DiMarco. He will now talk us about the potential for capital growth, the advantages of investing, obviously, for rental returns, and why investing in off-plan has proven successful in the Algarve for many years now. Over to you, Elliot.
Thanks, John. Good afternoon, and a very big thank you for all the interest in our webinar for Quinta Heights. I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoy all the detailed content from Ideal Homes and the developers, Representative Adam, and our other guest speakers. I must start with saying that as a real estate professional and sales director of Ideal Homes, I have never marketed and sold a development quite like this in the Algarve or Portugal for that matter. I personally have been selling real estate for the last 25 plus years all over the world and in the Algarve since 2006. I physically moved here in 2011 for the job offer to work with the founder and chairman of Ideal Homes, Chris White, and have never looked back since. As such, I've seen a lot of changes over the last 14 plus years since I have lived and worked here. But in my 25-year career in real estate, I've never had a development with so many amenities on site and so much thought and research going into a luxury development as Quinta Heights. But I will let Adam describe in detail the developer's vision for the resort and discuss the amenities and quality finishings in more detail. I would like to take the opportunity now to talk about the potential capital appreciation, rental returns, and the investment side of this business, and give you some comparisons and the benefits of buying off plan. Number one for me is that you are buying at entry-level investor pricing, meaning that you have the potential to reserve at entry-level pricing before the other blocks are released and prices increase over the build time. Blocks A, B, C, and D are already reserved by the developer's existing investor client base. The further 5 blocks of 15 apartments will be released one by one, but not at these prices, as they will increase with demand and sales. The Algarve last year achieved 13% capital appreciation in 2024, and all indicators for this year are showing similar or even higher appreciation for 2025. Property prices in the Algarve have doubled since 2015, and we now have international recognition and buyers from across the world, with many new markets such as North Americans. The Algarve, however, is still affordable when you compare to Mallorca, where prices are at least 1/3 more expensive, and they do not have all year round flights, so it is very, very seasonal. Winter tourism is on the increase here in the Algarve, with many golf courses in the region attracting a lot of retirees coming for winter sun and to play golf. Similar 5-star resorts in the area with similar facilities were achieving occupancy rates of 78% last year for 2-bed townhouses, but they are touristic licensed developments with restrictions on how much you can use your own property. This development has no restrictions and you are free to use your apartment as much as you like. I have several investor clients that have achieved on or over 40 weeks rental a year consistently for the last 4 to 5 years and continue to do so as winter tourism increases year on year. And last August, one of my clients peaked at €700 a night for a ground floor 3-bed apartment, which was 5 years old. Summer rentals are a given anywhere in the Algarve, but the key to great winter off-season rentals is the location and number of amenities the resort offers, such as indoor heated pool, luxury spa, state-of-the-art gym, restaurant and bars, all of which will be open all year round here at Quinta Heights. All in all, I believe with the amount of amenities and services this development will offer, along with the stunning views, this will be outperforming all of the other similar resorts in the area and across the Algarve. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in a beautiful Algarve very soon.
Thank you so much, Elliot. That's been great information. And I just want to remind everybody there will be a Q&A at the end. if you have any questions. So when buying a property, understanding the legal side of it is crucial. So joining us now is our lawyer, Marisa Costa of the law firm Martinez, Echeverria and Ferreira, who will walk us through the legalities of buying in Portugal and especially when it comes to buying off-plan properties. Hi, Marisa.
Hi, my name is Marisa Costa. I'm a lawyer of the international law firm Martinez, Echeverria and Ferreira. We in Portugal have several offices in Algarve 4, in Quinta do Lago, Vila Moura, Albufeira and Lagos. We have also in Lisbon and Estoril and Oporto. What we do more is helping clients with the purchase and sales, especially if they are not non-residents here in Portugal, and we can also help with immigration. To buy a property here in Portugal, we can say that it is safe with a good advice. The process starts with you choosing the property that you want to buy. As soon as you choose the property that you want to buy, it is time to do the reservation of the property. The reservation of the property is with a small amount of the purchase price, and it is important for the seller to take the property out of the market. After the reservation of the property, a lawyer can start the work, doing a legal due diligence and requesting the documents of the property and the documents of the seller. We will check the registration of the property here in Portugal at the competent authorities, and we will also start the preparation of the first contract that it is necessary to sign between both parties. We call here in Portugal the promissory agreement of purchase and sale, or the promissory contract of purchase and sale. This contract will have the identification of the seller, the identification of the buyer, the identification of the property, the timings for the completion of the purchase price, and the payments that you will need to do. With the signature of this promissory agreement, it is necessary to do the first payment to the seller, which is important to guarantee the deal and to secure the property for you. After the signature of this promissory agreement, both parties are committed with the deal, and in case some of the parties break the contract, we have penalties by the Portuguese law. When the property is finished and the documents are updated, we can start the preparation of the completion of the purchase. We set up the completion of the purchase in a notary office. The notary is an independent person from the seller and from the buyer, and we'll double check again all the documents of the seller and all the documents of the property. That's why we can say that it is safe to buy here in Portugal. You buy the ownership of the property, it is not a list, and the property is registered in your names at the land registry office and also at the tax department. To buy a property here in Portugal, you need to count with two taxes: the property transfer tax and the stamp duty that you only pay once. If you sell, the next buyer will guarantee and pay these taxes, not you again. We can say, if we are talking about properties around 500,000 euros, that you will need to count with at least between 7.5 and 8% of closing costs, including legal fees, including also the taxes and notary fees. To buy, you will need the identification documents, and you will also need to request the Portuguese fiscal number. The Portuguese fiscal number, also called here in Portugal the NIF number, it's necessary to do contracts and to do purchase and sales here in Portugal, but don't mean that you need to change your fiscal address, your residency into Portugal. You can buy a property here in Portugal as an investment, just for holidays or for the purpose of getting some profit with rentals, or you can also buy a property to live here in Portugal.
Thank you, Marisa. It was very informative, everything there. So talking about lawyers, that's one thing, but also talking about finance, mortgages. Well, we can actually secure finance here in Portugal at very competitive rates. And I now got Nicholas Martins at Ideal Homes Mortgages, who's going to discuss everything about buying, even for foreign buyers, and what you should know. Nicholas, tell us more.
Thank you, John. And yes, the rates are very competitive in Portugal. First of all, my name is Nicholas Martins. I wish to give a big good afternoon to everybody. I'm the Ideal Homes Mortgage Supervisor for Ideal Homes Portugal. Okay, so we are a registered mortgage company, registered by the Bank of Portugal as a company since 2012. I myself am also registered as well as an individual, and I have more than 20 years experience in the financial world, the financial market, doing non-resident mortgages. Okay, so basically, we have a strong background here. The mortgage department at the moment, Ideal Homes, is myself and Alejandro. So both of us, like I said, have a strong background in finance, and we secure every year more than 100 title deeds for non-resident clients buying properties here in Portugal, either for investment, to live, get capital gain, whatever. So we are here to help you throughout the journey from scratch until beginning. Let me tell you that there are no fees for our financial service, for our brokerage services. There are no fees whatsoever on our side for our clients. So we get paid by the banks. And the mortgage pre-approval process is a very simple thing to do. So basically, you will be contacted, time comes, or you can contact us through email. The email Charlie will put on the chat soon. You can contact us, and what we do, we will send you an Ideal Homes mortgage inquiry form for you to fill up, date, and sign, giving us authorization, of course, to assess your financial information and for RGPD reasons for the Bank of Portugal as well. Once you return that inquiry form back to us, then we will assess your financial information and give you your maximum borrowing amount available. We'll give you the maximum mortgage term, the different rate options you can choose from, and the different rate options for each bank. Okay, so basically, because we do have contracts with all the banks in Portugal, we put the banks against each other to middle it out. So fight for your mortgage, fight for the lowest rate, so that when we present to you the final rate, it's going to be the best rate available on the market. As Elliot mentioned before, buying off plan is a fantastic deal. We are just completing now on the mortgage side another development that just finished here that started off plan 2.5 years ago. And what we're seeing is the bank valuations at the moment are coming between 180,000 and 200,000 more than what the clients paid for off plan nearly 2.5 years ago. So it's a fantastic opportunity. There's no risk whatsoever here regarding the mortgage side. We can guarantee you a pre-assessment, a pre-approval on your mortgage now, okay? You make the payments agreed to the developer, and you are able to get, at the day of completion, 80% of the purchase price back, okay? So, like I said, there are no risk whatsoever. Interest rates here in Portugal at the moment start from 2.5%. It is possible. You can choose the mortgage options you wish to have, either variable rate, fix the term of the mortgage for the full term over 30 years is the maximum, or have mixed fixed rate options. Like I said, the rates start at 2.5%. There are some novelties coming in for 2025 mortgages that will continue throughout the next year as well, 2026, which is the cashback schemes, okay? So the banks, besides lending the money, are giving cashback into the client's account for 1% or 2% of the amount of the mortgage you have, okay? So basically, you will require the deposit, the legal fees. Doutora Marisa has already mentioned that closing costs will be around about the 7.5%, 8%. So plus your deposit, and that's it. You make the payment agreed with the developer now, and on the day of completion, you can get 80% back.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. That's been fantastic. So, as with mortgages, and particularly for foreign buyers, securing the right currency exchange at the right time can actually make a significant difference to the financing of a property. So, here to tell us more all about that is Claire Wheatley, founder and CEO of Moving Currency. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you for the introduction. I'm delighted to be here today. My name is Claire, and I'm the founder of Moving Currency. We specialise in helping clients save money when transferring funds overseas. And I'm proud to say that we've already assisted over 800 buyers in securing the best exchange rate, and we've simplified the process of buying your property abroad for them. If you're buying a property in Portugal, then you're going to need euros for your property purchase. So whether you're coming from the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, or anywhere outside of the Eurozone, that's where we come in. We make the process of converting your funds to euros seamless, cost-effective, and stress-free, ensuring that your money goes a little bit further. When purchasing a property off plan, like Quinta Heights, there's going to be initially a reservation deposit, then there might be a couple of stage payments, and then you'll pay the balance on completion of the property. We here at Moving Currency can assist you from the very first payment when you take the property off the market, all the way through to the final payment for completion and beyond that. So after that, you might have mortgage payments, holiday spending money, bills, anything like that. We can help you with all those expenses too. One key way that we help clients manage the stage payments throughout the build process is by something called forward buying, which allows you to lock in the exchange rate now for those future payments. This helps protect you against any market fluctuations and fixes the price of the property in your home currency right now. This gives you a bit more certainty over your costs and helps you manage your budget a bit more effectively. Basically, Moving Currency are here to help you with your currency transfers before, during, and after your property purchase, in the most secure and cost-effective way possible. Thank you very much, Carrie, for introducing me, and I'm happy to answer any questions at the end.
Thank you very much, Claire. Let's now go over to developer, which we'll be talking to Adam shortly. But the company developer is Brooks Property Group. They are focused in the Algarve since 2022, and basically have 3 developments here at present, and have 2 huge developments with a combined GDP of just over 1 billion euros. That's currently going through due diligence. This amazing development in Carvero is something, it is stunning. It's going to be unbelievable. Now, Adam, can you tell us more about the company and the development and guide us through what we're going to be seeing on the slideshow now?
Yeah, of course. Thanks very much, John, for the intro, and thanks to everybody as well for all of the kind words for the project so far. And thank you to everybody as well for taking your time to tune in. We really appreciate you giving up your hard-earned time to come and listen to what we're trying to achieve. And I hope you find the whole webinar a positive experience. We've just got some slides that we wanted to produce, but before we get into those, I thought I'd just sort of introduce myself. As John said, I'm Adam Duffield. I've been with the Brooks Property Group for 11 years now. As an entity, we've actually been in business for over 35 years, beginning life as an accountancy practice, sort of dovetailing into the property industry around 2005. So over that course of the last 17, 18 years, or more now, obviously nearly 20 years, we've done over 600 million in property transactions, and over the course of Florida, the Caribbean, the UK, and obviously a really growing Portuguese market that we wanted to become a part of. So I think for us, the key mainstay and the key difference to us, to most developers, would be, I think most developers, their mindset is to find a development, to run a sales and marketing process, to give a slight discount before construction completes. And then, you know, that is very transactional. And that's really, once you've completed and signed on that contract, that is really the end focus for them. For us, one of the things I love about Brooks and working for Brooks is that it's really about an ongoing dialogue with the client beyond completion. It's actually about a methodology of finding a hybrid of a prudent financial investment that works well as a second home. It's about assisting that client beyond completion and hopefully doing repeat business for the long term. And that's, for me personally, the thing I find most rewarding. But happy to obviously answer any questions at the end. I'm conscious of time, so we'll move on to the slides, and I'll just give a flavour for what we're looking to do in the Algarve now. So in terms of who we are as an entity, you can see there our head office is We're based in Essex in the UK, although I'm going to have to apply for my residency soon. I think at this rate, the amount I'm back and forth. So I might need to pick Marissa's brains at the end. But as you can see there, I mentioned it, 35 years worth of experience, a series of different professional partners that we align ourselves with, from property management to the currency. These guys have referenced it on the call. Great brokers, great lawyers. We want to help you with every aspect of that purchasing process, much in the way Ideal do as well. There's a shopping list of properties. It's over 50 projects we've been involved in and developed now, but it's about 2,000, just over 2,000 properties total. But really, that's the main thing to get across as an entity. We really are here for you beyond completion. We care about giving you a great deal on the way into the projects and hopefully doing more business and getting referrals the whole way through. We like to consider ourselves very approachable. There's a good level of customization, and we're really trying to give you in essence, an opportunity to have what you want. So if you're more investment driven, that's okay. We're accountants by background. My managing director, has over 35 years experience in that field. We can help with that. But if it's more about the lifestyle and you just want a lovely home in a great environment, well, we've already done the research over a long period. And if we move on to the next slide, I'll talk through that as well. Thank you. In terms of Quinta Heights then, where did that process begin? Why Quinta Heights? Why modern specification apartments? Why that particular environment? Why that location? I think the primary reason, and in every project that we do, it started with our own due diligence process. We spent almost 2 years in the Algarve. I can personally attest to this. We went from Tavira on the east coast of the Algarve all the way through to Sagres on the western point, trying to assess which particular location would offer the best hybrid of a prudent financial investment with a growing infrastructure, as well as obviously a lovely coastline, really nice golfing activities that John mentioned earlier on, John and Carrie, as well as some of those brilliant beaches that we all know very well, and getting that vitamin D in our blood. So for us, it was about marrying up those two factors. We felt the Ferraguda and Carvero area were a perfect fit for that. Not too far from the airport, already got a really good following in terms of rental income if that's someone's driver, and brilliant golf courses like the guys mentioned, brilliant beaches. Why this particular product offering? I think that particular area's got some older traditional style properties that may be a bit less in terms of their cost per square metre. You've also got some really big, expansive custom built villas that, in terms of your running costs, you better be working hard because they'll cost you a lot to run. I think what most of us really want is a marriage in the middle. It's about having a lock up and leave that we can hopefully have some possession of and enjoyment with our families, but also when we lock them up and leave them, not so much to worry about in terms of running costs, not such a heavy land parcel or a land plot to manage. I think everybody wants everything under one roof as well. There's a wellness approach going for people since the COVID pandemic. I think people are thinking about their lifestyle. That's why we've got these modern specification apartments. As you can see there, the way that it's put together, it's actually 130 apartments, 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom apartments, and they're divided into 10 buildings. So even though it's 130 apartments, so actually, as you can see there, over 3 stories, there are even a couple of buildings at 2-story. But predominantly speaking, the reasoning behind that is they feel like their own mini neighborhoods. So you've got that feeling of exclusivity without having those big overheads that you'd experience if you owned sort of a custom build villa or even a smaller property in some instances. So that's the objective here. We can move to the next slide, please. Fantastic, thank you. So this slide's really key. It's the master plan. I'm just going to give you an overview of exactly how that comes together. So if you look in section D, you'll notice that that's where the apartments are situated. Every building has possession of their own pool, which are exclusive to the owners of that particular building. So you've got 10 buildings there. You'll see in section B, you've got a series of parks and gardens that I'll discuss later. Just to give you those quiet spaces. I think anyone thinking about acquiring an apartment, your first primary concern will be noise, and reducing that and keeping that serenity that maybe the facilities give you. Well, you've got a significant amount of space allocated in section B where you can go for nice long walks, hopefully get the baby under control as well. But in section C is kind of the main village centre. So we've got a 200-seater cover restaurant there. We've got another pool facility, a main pool deck there. We've got an on-site bakery there. We've got a bar and restaurant as well, in addition to the 200-seater cover restaurant, as well as a convenience store. So everything that you need, all in that particular area, very closely located to the apartments themselves. Then over in Section A is kind of the major draw, I think, that Elliot was touching on earlier. Incredible facilities and very generous comments, Elliot, in terms of having your backing on this. But tennis and paddle courts, we know how popular paddle's become. We know how active people want to be, and it's a great way to socialise too. We've also got a series of tennis courts and multi-sports courts, as well as probably the two major attractions to this development that make it unique. So you've got the yoga studio facility. There's a rooftop yoga studio I'll show you later in this presentation that gives a great overview of the sea, which is beautiful from that spot. And we've also got an indoor-outdoor spa facility as well as an ultra-high modern spec gym as well, with all the latest equipment, I can assure you. So we're going to run through that very briefly, but next slide, please, and I'll definitely cover those things. Talking in terms of the units themselves, the guys, again, Elliot touched on it. He's absolutely right. We've been very, very fortunate in the last 20 years that we've built an extensive network of clients, and there's a lot of repeat business there. Trusted clients from projects in Florida, the Caribbean, the UK, that have come on this journey with us. They make up most of buildings A, B, C, and D. Building E offers an exclusive opportunity to come into this development at highly competitive prices in arguably one of the best buildings in terms of views, certainly if you're on the top level. You will actually have the unique opportunity to have a sea view in both directions. And if you look to the image on the right there, away from the apartment location itself, we sit in a very, very high position with views directly in front of you. You almost look down a valley with the Monchique Mountains in front of you, sea views off to your left-hand side, and you've actually got river views of the River Rard Bridge and the Pestana Gramacho golf course to your right. So it's a really nice panorama that you get. But one of the nicest things about building E specifically is that if you're on a rooftop terrace of one of the penthouse units and you look out at the back of your location, you've got the sea behind you. And then if you imagine it almost wraps around the site, the sea from the bottom round, then you end up with these beautiful sea views to your left-hand side at the front as well. So it's a really unique view. It's what drew me to this project ahead of perhaps the other 74 developments that we looked at east to west. So hopefully that gives a flavour for the apartments themselves and the outlook. Next slide, please. So again, I'll just flick through the next two slides quite quickly, but essentially what we have is an emphasis on, exactly, that's perfect, yeah, an emphasis on open plan living, an emphasis on getting as much light into the apartments as we conceivably can. I think, let's face it, most of the people watching this webinar, we're all trying to get a better climate. Certainly if you're in my environment here, sitting, looking outside in the UK, looking at the gloomy skies, and I think there's no point in having an apartment or a property in the Algarve unless you're going to actually have some light coming in and getting to absorb that sunlight. Next slide, please. Again, I think you can kind of see on that horizon the sort of views that you're going to have, but nice to have sun coming through the bedroom window rather than looking out and it's grey clouds ahead. But as you can imagine, clean lines, very modern, very neutral. That's what we've gone with in terms of our finishes, high range finishes, which we'll go into in a second. Talking about the facilities in a bit more depth, I think in terms of the Algarve, you can certainly find modern specification properties in this location, probably not to our spec, but certainly I don't think you'll have a spa facility, anything like this. I'm sure the guys at Ideal would agree. You've got the curvature that you can see there, the real curved roofs from SMS, our architects, one of the leading architects in the Algarve, with this lovely indoor-outdoor pool facility, which will be heated as well. I know that will be a key question. You've got a lot. Also, the nice thing about this environment as well as having sort of the hot tub and the cold plunge, your sauna facility, you've got the ability not only to sit at your own pool during the day, but you can sit here on the outside furniture and enjoy that kind of serenity of a spa environment if that's your preference. So that gives you another opportunity as well. And just a little bit more of a close-up on the hot tub. So you can see we've gone for a very ultra-high finish in terms of what we're trying to deliver here. And we want the very best quality. We want that kind of exclusivity that you would have in a spa facility, very private, very luxurious. Next slide, please. This is a key image as well. So this is showcasing our indoor yoga studio to the left, and then you've got the modern specification gym, very common trait of Portugal to have kind of the exercise bikes outside, which I think is brilliant actually for any fitness enthusiasts out there. We are a very sporty entity. I'm an ultra runner myself, and then you've got a lot of the guys in the office play golf, and we're all always competing with each other at the gym as well. So for us, important to have that great gym equipment, but probably important to everybody as an owner. I think everyone will have an eye on the wellness aspects, a high specification gym equipment. And I think the next image might move on to our rooftop there, the yoga facility. So yeah, feel free to move on. This is actually the spa one actually first. So again, you can kind of see from that coastline there, that is the coastline that we have from the development. So you'd be able to sit up top that rooftop there, have lovely views of the sea whilst you're sipping on a cocktail and enjoying sort of the peacefulness of the resort. You're not too far from the beach here. You're less than a mile away from Quinta Beach, as Carrie rightly pointed out. Next slide, please. Again, this is what I call the Castro Moore image for any Love Island enthusiasts. But essentially looking into the spa area there, you can see the amount of outdoor furniture and the nice cabanas. It's a really nice environment that you can enjoy. And again, perhaps not what people envisage when they think of a traditional kind of apartment facility, but we really have tried to make this feel private, exclusive, and a bit of class as well. Next slide, please. This is the image I really like. I was trying to get to this, you might have noticed. But essentially, I don't know of any other resorts, and please correct me in the comments or in the Q&A at the end if you like, but I don't know of too many resorts that you can get up in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, and do your yoga session overlooking that view there, over towards the sea. And at the end, you can go about your day. And I think that epitomizes what, as a developer, we're trying to achieve with this development, give you this incredible lifestyle. Hopefully with the opportunity, if you'd like to generate some income, there's an opportunity to do that as well. Have your cake and eat it. Have a great resort facility that you can come to anytime you like, and then hopefully enjoy these wonderful facilities while you're here. So really, you should be able to do most of everything you'd like to do on the site, not to mention the brilliant attractions that are around the development in the given area that we've researched as well. Next slide, please. This is probably the importance to this image, by the way, is probably more to do with the resort and our philosophy as a business. We have no desire at all to make money from you as our client through service charges. Service charges can be extortionate. I'm not afraid to say that. In the research process, I was staggered with, quite frankly, some of the limited facilities I saw, but very high service charges. Our objective as a business is not to run this as a resort that is a money-making scheme in terms of ongoing costs for us. We're not really looking to do that. We're looking to bring you in a great price that works for us as a developer, and then hopefully with great facilities and great amenities like this one, the juice bar, we feel that if people are spending money on the site, that will give us the coverage we need to cover our costs as a developer. We'd rather have your business long term because you've had a fantastic experience with your family, and because hopefully it's been a prudent financial move for you as well. If that can be, whichever one of those is the priority, great. But you know, hopefully we can marry the two, and you'll come on the journey with us. Rather do that than to be honest, extricate more money than necessary out of you on the service charge. It's not a necessity here. We'll be doing everything we can to keep the service charges to a level where we can maintain the quality on site without compromising your bank balance. Next slide, please. Yeah, we've got state-of-the-art sports complex. So I mentioned the tennis and the paddle facility. We're also looking into bringing in professional coaching to offer that to our clients and their hopefully tenants as well. Just as, again, something that can leave a legacy and hopefully build a brand, if you like, in terms of our reputation. And hopefully people will be saying, Quinta Heights, oh, that fantastic development where you can go to the spa and you can get great coaching for sport as well. We want to have that reputation, and that's kind of our developer legacy and our commitment to you as our client, hopefully going forwards. Next slide, please. And we're just going to spin through these slides quickly. There are 5 different gardens on the site. I mentioned it at the start. The purpose for this, to be honest, again, we understand the constraint that perhaps people are concerned that, you know, you've got 130 apartments on a site. What's that going to be like? Are there any private spaces? Well, we've done absolutely everything we can to cover that base. There's an opportunity to grow wine on the site. There's an opportunity to grow your own crops. We even have a stargazer's garden with sleep pods, which gives you guys with children out there, the opportunity in particular, although I will be doing so as well, the opportunity to go and enjoy the very low light coverage, sort of the great light coverage, I should say, really, that you have there. In the UK, very difficult to see the stars at night. Not so in that particular part of the Algarve, and we're trying to capitalise on that. So you'd have the opportunity to book in at no additional cost to yourself as an owner and enjoy that experience of watching the stars late at night. So, and the sleep pods obviously give you the opportunity to stay all night if you really want. Just touching on these facilities, we can give you all this detail at the end. I am conscious of time, but you can see ultra modern facade, cocktail bar on the rooftop there, which I think we go into. 200-seater cover restaurant here with an outdoor decking area that overlooks the Monchique Mountains just for a bite to eat. This is your on-site bakery. It's actually present on the site now, which is great for me when I'm there. This is the outdoor decking area that you'll be able to enjoy your bite to eat. This is also present on site if you come to see me in a few weeks' time with any luck. This, if we just hold on this image, really important image, you can see on this image the outline of the Monchique in the background. So this has been superimposed from the development itself. This rooftop image, even if you don't have a penthouse unit, you can enjoy the sunset from this location with a cocktail. This cocktail bar will enable you to have your cake and eat it, as I've mentioned. Go up there, enjoy the sunset, any time of the day, any owner, whether you're a top floor or bottom floor unit, doesn't matter. You get to enjoy these nice shots of the sun coming in. And that gives you a feel for the view we have. So you can see how the land almost drops away and you see the Monchique in front of you with the sea out to your left. But next slide, please. This is a key one. The outdoor cinema will have barbecues here and the slush puppy machines going. This is a great way to build community for any of you guys who are trying to find a more permanent abode. You want that feeling of community as well. You don't just want it to be transactional in terms of people coming in and out the site. This is how we do things at our development. We're very big on building communities. Very inexpensive for us to do, being honest, doesn't really add much in terms of service charges to anybody, but a really nice thing to do and a good use of the space, more green space, a great activity for those of you who do have kids, a great draw for the site as well. Next one. And the last two images I think we have, really important to take this image in. This is the view from the penthouse unit, rooftop terrace, looking out of the back of your terrace. So that gives you a great feel for the height of the units, but also gives you a snapshot of what you're going to be seeing if you decide to go forwards with one of those units. And the next slide, I believe, is sort of from the other angle. So we can kind of see there. You can see the sea and you see the city of Portimão in front of you. So it's a really, really nice outlook. It was one of the big draws for us. We knew it had a lot of potential. We know the area's got potential. But as I mentioned before, views are fantastic from a height. But even if you're not taking a unit at a height, you've got a great opportunity to enjoy some wonderful heights and sights from the development anyway, on the spa, on the cocktail bar. So we've tried to cater for everyone here. Next slide, please. And just in terms of your pricing, the guys at Ideal, just want to make a comment on Ideal while I've got a moment. Absolutely fantastic entity. I've spoken to Chris, the chairman, Elliot, the team, everybody from A to Z. Whether you like Quinta Heights, don't like Quinta Heights, they're a brilliant entity to be a part of. Very structured organisation that we're really proud to have the backing of. They are going to be doing the follow-up process. Anybody's got any questions you want to book in with me? We're a very, as I said, hopefully a very transparent and open organisation. We'd love to hear your questions. Anybody that wants to reserve units got the opportunity to do so before I go to a place in the sun tomorrow and do some more exhibiting. But price point wise, you'll come in from about 519,000 euros. You can go all the way to 1.9 million for the 4 beds. There is a bonus only for anybody that's exclusive to this webinar. Anybody that's registered and signed up to this particular webinar, you have the opportunity to acquire a furniture pack inclusive of units. So a free furniture pack for anybody who does decide to go ahead with what we're doing by the 1st of April. There'll be opportunities to speak to the guys at Ideal after in how you go about that process. We can set up a meeting as well to answer any questions virtually or physically. But I think that's pretty much all from me. So thanks, guys, for the time, and hopefully I've not waffled on for too long.
Thank you so much, Adam. No, you've not waffled, and that brightened my afternoon up, I have to say. And I think I speak for both John and myself when we say we're very excited about an invitation to come and try everything.
Yeah, why not?
Bakery, bar, stargazing.
I'll make sure I've got the cocktail bars up and running by the time you get
Well
there.
stocked. Thank you so much, Adam. So one of the many things that makes the Ideal Homes Portugal difference is the after sales team, because a great service doesn't stop with the signing of the deeds, and after sales plays a huge and very important role in client satisfaction. So here to tell us more about this is Justine Ness, the head of Ideal Home Portugal's after sales. So Justine, tell us what makes the difference.
Thank you, Carrie, and good afternoon from Portugal to everybody around the world watching today. As mentioned, my name is Justine Ness, and I'm the head of After Sales for Ideal Homes Portugal. After Sales is a unique in-house service offered to our clients. We assist you with getting your property move-in ready, which includes coordination of your utility service connections prior to your arrival, as well as your furniture installation. We can also assist with numerous referrals, including but not limited to airport transfers, internet providers, rental management services, and cleaners. After Sales will reach out to you 1 year prior to completion of your property and introduce these services and provide regular updates on the progress of the development. I look forward to working with you on your new home at Quinta Heights. Thank you very much for your time. Back to you, John and Carrie.
Thank you very much, Justine. So I think we've covered everything possible, but there's going to be questions and answers. Now I'm going to go over to Charlie, who's going to open up the Q&A. So please, any questions, any answers, we're all here to help you. And far away, Charlie.
Thanks, John, and thank you, Justine, and fabulous explanation of the development, Adam. So I have a couple of questions. I sort of answered a few as we were going, but I'm sure there's going to be more that come up. So anyone that has a question, please write it in the chat and we can get it answered by the person who knows the answer best. So yes, this will be recorded and we will put it on YouTube in case you missed it. We have a question about where it's located, but yeah, there was a map view. And it's Ferragudo, got lovely sea views, but I'm sure we can share a brochure with you after so you can see exactly where it is on the map. And
say actually, Charlie, what we could probably just quickly recap. Anybody who's interested in one of these units, you can reserve one. It's quite simple, a 10,000 euro reservation fee. That would pay to the lawyer's account and it would sit there while the due diligence is being done and you know you've got that property reserved. We are expecting this is going to be very busy because our consultants are waiting for your calls. People are going to be there asking questions shortly, but we are here to help you go through the process of purchasing the property, reserve it, and then you won't be disappointed.
yeah, after this webinar, our team of TMs, including me, telemarketers, we will be calling through every single client, even if we need to not sleep until tomorrow. So don't worry, you'll be getting a call from someone. So Adam or Elliot, as an investment, what are the possibilities if Carla was to rent the property on a seasonal basis? What's the policy? I did say that it's flexible, but yeah, maybe you could explain rentals and how flexible the resort is, maybe a touch on rental income. Thanks.
No problem. You happy for me to answer that one, Elliot?
Oh, no problem. I can jump in if needed.
Yeah, why not? We'll both have a go at answering. So the key thing off the back of that question is I know that some of you would have been on webinars and you would have spoken to developers where there's a strange situation that was unique to me when I came to Portugal, whereby that developer may insist that if you're in the rental pool, they're going to manage that rental pool. They're going to take 50% of your income certainly 40%, could be 30%, but they're also going to dictate to you when you can and can't use that property.
I touched on my talk as well. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for us, I'll just be honest, we just do not believe in that. I just think if you see a guaranteed rental return, quite often it's a developer repaying you what you've overpaid on the unit. So I don't believe in that. But certainly where it comes to rentals, our philosophy is you use the unit, you are the captain of the ship. We're just there to steer the ship and help you where you need help. We've already done a due diligence on 13 different management entities that operate within the Ferragoon and Carvewaro area. We've highlighted 2 or 3 in particular that are fantastic, that will charge between 15 to 20% for that management fee. They will only derive cost from you for any income they derive, so no flat fees. And I suppose the most important thing is that you've got complete freedom. So there'll be a rental management portal that will sit. And essentially, say on a Thursday, like today, you look out your window, go, this is awful. Like, I want to be in the Algarve. I can get a flight out of London, Luton, or London, Manchester, and it's cheap, and I can do it. You jump on the plane, you give your management company a call, you say, actually, I know you've rented my unit, but because the units are uniformed, so one bed's internally the same size as twos, three, and your 2 beds have got the same sizing, because they're uniformed as units, what it means is we can just, your unit could just be reassigned somewhere else because your rental tenant doesn't particularly know, they don't know that they're renting Mr. and Mrs. Smith's 2-bed unit. They just know they've got a 2-bed on the development, if that makes sense. So yeah, our philosophy is you rent the property as and when you like. You tell us when you want to rent it, we will look to rent it. When you want to use it with your friends and family, you use it for yourself. I think it's fair enough if you're spending circa 500,000 euros plus on a property that you get to choose when you use it, I think.
Thanks, Adam. And I just need to run through a couple of more questions, as I've just been told we've only got 9 minutes left. So I'm just going to pick a random couple of questions. Is there a possibility to reserve a property subject to viewing when I come out to Portugal, just so I don't miss out on lucky? So yes, that is the whole reason we're doing this webinar, to inform you about this development. But yeah, there's only a certain amount of properties, isn't there, Adam? So
yeah, I think where Block E's involved, look, obviously we'll look to release other things. I'd say Block E will be the most competitive pricing. If you've got an interest, my suggestion would be our reservation process is exactly the same as Ideal's, really sensible and fluid process. We are not looking to cash your reservation fees unless you want to proceed. It's really more of a statement of intent. When you put the reservation fee down, we would then have a Zoom chat with you, a one-to-one meeting with my business manager Chris, with myself, with Elliot, some of the team here at Ideal, just to really understand any basic questions. And then you would, of course, have the opportunity to come and see the site, or yeah, do further due diligence. We're not looking to we're not fly by nights looking to just take deposits quickly. We want you to buy it because you want to buy it, but we're going to answer your questions methodically. So I would say, anybody that's got a really serious interest, Build and E will move quick, but take your time, and if you want to place a reservation, do that, because you get to hedge your bets really, and it stops you from missing out that way.
yeah, I think the process is if someone reserves, then we can definitely get a Zoom call booked so that you can spend time and go through all before they fly over, if they're not here already. Just please touch on what's the estimated completion date for Tom?
June 2027.
Is the village centre exclusive to owner residents only from Pascal, sorry.
Good question. Love that one, Pascal. Yes, the restaurateur, there will be a restaurateur that will be put into that development. I feel there'll be enough footfall that it can be exclusive. The only thing that would change would be maybe the restaurant could be opened up later, not the spa facilities, not the tennis and paddle, none of the other resort facilities would be opened up. Potentially the restaurant could be if there wasn't that footfall, but I suggest there will be, with 130 apartments there. And the fact that we're not looking to make it Michelin starred or anything, we want it to be sort of a 9 out of 10 for quality, but maybe a 7 out of 10 on the cost, so that it's affordable, so we can get good volumes through there, really, to keep those service charges down again.
Thank you. And what is the service charge, if possible, from Gary? Thank you.
Gary, it changes from unit to unit. It goes from anywhere from the 290s off the top of my head on the 1 beds through to maybe the 700s on the 4 beds per month, but for that you'll have access to absolutely every facility on that site. You'll also have the upkeep for all of the maintenance of the pools, for all of the communal areas. It's also your buildings cover for the building included within that.
Building insurance, yeah.
The building insurance, yeah. So being honest, like the service charge, because we're not trying to make an income stream from the service charges, we are ultra competitive. I'd say it's one of the biggest selling points, to be honest with you, of the whole development. It's rarely talked about, but on comparative, I could give you 2 or 3 examples of comparative developments that are 3 times the amount of our service charges, to be honest. So we're pretty comfortable with those.
Thank you, Adam. Just another question. Is Block E the only block with the sea view, or will others have sea view as well, if you do release those in the future?
Yeah, others will have. There's 1 or 2 units, I think, that are in a competitive position. B is probably the most competitive, or certainly my top 3. But I could have other options. But I think the best thing to do is to, if you see a unit you like, then look at that seriously to reserve that, and then as I said, book that process, and I can talk to you about all of that. But yeah, there will be opportunities, yes.
Thank you. So we're running out of time now, so I'm going to pass over to John and Carrie. And don't worry, we've got your details. One of our telemarketers will be giving you a call, sending you an email and a WhatsApp to get your reservation down if you want, or organise Zoom call, site visit, and answer all the other questions that we can't get to. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much, Charlie. And also, yes, just to remind everybody that if you would like to come and see this development in person, Ideal Homes Portugal has its viewing trips. So visit our website now for more information on those, the special offer that's on until the end of spring. We can sort everything out for you, and also just to see all the other information. So our consultants will be on hand. All these questions, the other questions that haven't been answered, will be addressed. We will be in touch.
And also, we got the viewing trip. Come over, see it, touch it, feel it.
Yeah,
You'll love it. You will love it.
Yes, and a recording will be sent out after this live webinar. Our advisors are on hand. We're just waiting for your call. Pick up the phones. It's almost there. Just go and pick up the phone and give us a call. And what else do we have?
Well, you can always check out idealhomesportugal.com, our website, properties on there, and also check out our IHTV YouTube channel where we show you your lifestyle. You've got me and Carrie on your doorstep all the time.
Absolutely. So a big thank you to everyone who attended, to all our participants, the experts, the speakers, all of you for watching. We hope you find much joy with your properties, your travels, your journeys, and we look forward to hopefully maybe one day meeting you all in person.
We look forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.